On June 10th, during the WWDC 2024, Apple announced its own AI platform, Apple Intelligence. While Apple has been criticized for being late to the party, take for example customization features, text recognition features, all of which have been implemented by Android rivals long ago, and of course the list goes on. Apple has received praise for being able to implement such features at a high standard. There seems to be a bit of a similar case here, with increasingly popular rivals in Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot, which have been around for some time now. Of course, at this stage, it's hard to comment or make any sort of inferences or conclusions about how good Apple Intelligence will be. But with the September 9th Apple event, we got a better idea of how and the extent to which Apple will integrate Apple Intelligence into its devices, especially the newly released iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, as well as the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. So in this video, I'll be talking about the top 5 features that Apple Intelligence will bring to your Apple device, starting with number 5, Genmoji. If you're not yet familiar with Genmoji, think about it this way. It's a feature that allows you to create your own emoji and use that when chatting with someone. You can do that just by describing the emoji that you want to use, and Genmojis will appear. I think this is a fantastic feature because chatting is something we do so often, and I don't know about you, but I often find myself looking for an emoji that doesn't actually exist, and honestly it makes me a bit frustrated sometimes. So I think in a way it's great that Apple has actually thought of something like this, and I'm pretty sure this will be one of the most popular features that comes with Apple Intelligence, just because of how many users express themselves with emojis. Number 4, Image Playground. Image Playground is similar to Genmoji in that it also works by having you, the user, provide a description to the AI. The only difference is this time, instead of an emoji output, you get an image output. So in other words, you just have to describe the image you want and your device will generate it for you. You can customize the style of the image output too, which is pretty cool. Once you have the image, you can then use it in ways like sending it to someone else. Now, a big reason that Image Playground is actually on this list is because it reduces the need for third-party apps or services that provide similar functionality, like AI image and art generators. And so this is quite important because it means that your Apple device will have greater utility, but that's not the only element that provides greater utility through Apple Intelligence. This brings us to number 3 on this list, writing tools. Now, this is a feature I don't really think I'll be using as much personally, but I do know that a lot of people find this sort of feature very useful, and so writing tools will definitely be something that Apple users will relate to. Writing tools are basically functions that help you improve your writing. If you're writing an email, for example, you can have your Apple device rewrite your email in a better way to suit a particular tone, and even have it proofread your writing and highlight any errors and make suggestions for improvement. If you've ever used a service like Grammarly before, writing tools will be very similar. As you may already know, Grammarly services include a browser extension that checks your writing for grammar and punctuation errors. The extension also offers suggestions to improve your writing, although this is a paid feature. You can also use the Grammarly website for a free AI paragraph rewriter. The reason I know that writing tools will be one of the most prominent features that comes with Apple Intelligence is actually based on my own work experience. So in my last job, AI tools were so popular among my colleagues. I'm talking tools to write and rewrite emails, write entire reports, design presentations, and more. And it was a company whose technological equipment was mostly Apple devices. So I'm pretty sure you can imagine the impact that Apple Intelligence will have through writing tools on this particular group of people. Number 2, ChatGPT. This is actually a huge one. A lot of us are now familiar with AI chatbots and virtual assistants, especially ChatGPT, and the major impact these have had on technology and on our lives. Apple was able to make ChatGPT integration into its devices a reality by partnering with OpenAI, which is the company responsible for creating and developing ChatGPT. ChatGPT will provide additional functionalities to Apple devices, including its image and document understanding capabilities. Also, with ChatGPT integrated into Apple devices, Siri can now interact with ChatGPT when it determines that ChatGPT would be helpful in performing a particular task. Apple is taking this further by extending the impact of ChatGPT to writing tools, allowing users to generate both text and images. And now, let's talk about the biggest thing Apple Intelligence brings. This is the one that I'm personally very curious to see in action. Number 1, big improvements to Siri. Let's be honest, Siri hasn't exactly been the best digital assistant, especially when compared to its counterparts in Alexa and Google Assistant. There are plenty of comparison videos between Siri and other digital assistants that you can watch, which give you a good idea of how Siri fares relative to other digital assistants, and it's not great. Sure, Siri has improved over the years, no doubt, but there are still areas that it doesn't quite master like other digital assistants do. Take for example camera control, directions, media information recognition. Like if you were to ask Siri to find photos or videos taken at a particular place or at a particular time, chances are it won't be able to do that. But this all changes now. Not only does the interface look prettier, but Apple Intelligence brings about some nice capabilities, like improved natural language processing. So basically, if you mess up your sentence or stumble over words while asking Siri to perform some kind of task, you can just correct yourself on the spot without having to start a new command all over again, and Siri will still be able to understand what's going on and perform the task. On devices like iPhone, you also get the option of typing to Siri just by double tapping the home bar, instead of having to enable the feature from the accessibility menu every time you want to use it. But perhaps there are a couple of aspects about the new Siri that really stand out. First, Siri now has the ability to locate and manipulate information in much more complex ways. So for example, if your friend sends you a piece of information and you want to store that somewhere, like a contact or address, you can just ask Siri to do that and it will recognize the specific person that you're talking about as well as the information in question. This also works with other material like photos and videos. So if you want to send a particular group of media to someone, you can just tell Siri which ones you want to send, and Siri will locate them and group them and send them according to your command. Second, Siri is now able to provide direct device support. So if you're ever confused about a feature or function in your Apple device, you can just ask Siri to explain it for you instead of having to go to Google or YouTube or ask someone else. And just as I'm recording this video, the amount of times I accidentally triggered Siri on my iPhone is insane. But that's pretty much it. The top 5 features that Apple Intelligence will bring to your Apple device. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, which is actually my very first video on this channel. I'm hoping that this will be the start of something big, because I aim to bring content that is not just about Apple, but really anything tech. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments, because I'd love to hear your thoughts about Apple Intelligence. If there is anything tech you're interested in and want me to make a video about, simply tell me in the comments. Also, please consider supporting me by donating to my channel through buymeacoffee.com. I would really appreciate any support as I embark on this YouTube journey, only if you can, of course. Link is in the description. This was the Wizard of Tech, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.